Hey guys, welcome to the shop. So, guess I'm making this the beginning of part 2 or part 3 maybe. I haven't decided yet. You'll find out with whatever the video card said of making this straight edge. So, as of now, we've kind of got it rough to shape. Unfortunately, this is extremely hard and very difficult to scrape. So, I did grind it as close as I could get. This is my third pass scraping it, and I'm gonna rub it on the plate, and we're gonna see what kind of contact we get. It doesn't feel great, I hate to say. It's about what you'd expect with a ground surface. I think I got too aggressive in this corner and kind of fudged myself, but we get more contact out towards the ends, which makes sense because when you're grinding, I'm just gonna put this in the vise so I can gesticulate better. You tend to have a belly in the middle to a degree, which is unfortunate but very typical. You know what, we're better over here. I can work and you can sort of see what's going on. You get a belly in the middle because it heats up more in the middle. I try to keep long parts like this at an angle so you kind of minimize that, which I think is why we have any contact at all. But the goal here is 20 dots to the inch, and we're at like 5 to none right now. Just, gotta get comfortable because I don't really have a good vise that'll actually hold these to scrape. And I'm having trouble. This won't get sharp or stay sharp, and it's carbide, which is kind of absurd. There's a lot of glassy awfulness in this because this started life as a window weight. At least for those of you who are new to this video series. And it's gone on a lot of adventures machining. I thought I might have to stress relieve it. But fortunately I didn't. I think I'm going to pause the video, sharpen this, and come back because this is not going to work for me. So we're back. I'm hopeful this will at least take something resembling material off. It's certainly better than it was. This iron is just so unbelievably hard. It just doesn't come through on video how much force I have to put into this. It's really difficult, guys. I am kind of debating tabling this, still posting the video, and going and buying cast iron and basically starting over from this point, because from what I'm seeing here, I'm going to be 4 hours in on rough scraping, just at the pace I'm removing material. And I mean, what I might do is actually just grind this and use it as ground because of how bad the surface I'm trying to scrape is. Just a ground straight edge, even with a few 10,000ths of belly, is going to be infinitely better than what's there. So let's see if this even made a difference. Because what sucks is I can't really control the scraper that well, so what's happening is I'm slipping, and I think the hard spots are what's high. So yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting to see, is we almost have less contact now, which is really frustrating. So I think this is going to be the end of the video. I'll reevaluate what's going on, and we'll have to figure something out. I'm going to see if I can grind it better, and if that's the case, we'll just print it as ground and see what's going on. To the top off, I think I probably took off 3/10. You actually can still see a little bit of the scrape marks in it, which is a good sign for not taking off much material. This is clean, the surface plate's clean, so I'm going to blue it because I don't really know what the results are going to be, so we're going to figure it out together. So it feels good, but I'm hinging on the ends. So that is pretty much what I was expecting to see. I'm going to try something else on the grinder and see what happens, because I think I can make this better. But maybe not all that much. I think I'm correcting some bow out on the magnetic chuck. So I'm going to stick an indicator on it. Although actually that might not work. The magnetic force might transfer through this and suck the indicator down. This is going to be tough because, you know, grinding it well, I'd expect contact to here, or at least spots of contact. You know, I don't feel any burrs on the back side that would be keeping it off the... Let's just try taking off a couple more tenths and seeing what happens.
Excuse my respirator, but I was right. The mag chuck was pulling some warp out of it. So what I actually did is you just turn it on, engage the magnets, and turn it off. So this is held on entirely with residual magnetism. And I'm taking off probably 1/1000th of an inch. So I think I was right in saying that the mag chuck pulled some warp out of it, and that's why we're getting such bad contact. Also, additional evidence that it was being warped is that I'm not contacting even close to the whole surface, just about 1/3 of it. So I'm going to take off like 2 or 3/10. That's all I dare do, is extremely light cuts. I don't want to fling this off the table and have to restart all my work. So what I just did there is I turned the light off because I'm looking for sparks. I can't really hear the difference, at least on this machine with,
and when it's sparked out, I know some people can on some machines that might be quieter. Single phase motors are fairly noisy. So I just turned the light off. It's kind of dark in this corner and I'm looking for sparks. I'm feeling a very good surface finish. I'm hoping we're closer than we were, but I'm not holding my breath. And you see how little material we took off is we didn't even take off to the bottom of the scrape marks here. So take that for what you will. The surface finish is quite nice. Walk back over to the surface plate. I'm going to clean this off with a brand new paper towel. And let's hope my residual magnetism trick helped. If not, it's possible I made it even worse. So fingers crossed. Oh my God. So I think it worked. I really think it might have worked. Do you see here how I'm hinging about here? And I'm hinging about here. So I think we're pretty close to flat. That is much better, guys. It might not look perfect, but what that tells me is that we're much closer than we were. I might get lucky and I might be able to grind closer. But I think that's going to be the end of the video today. We'll just call the grinder the Tickle Monster because we tickle off this really very gently without having the magnetic chuck on. And now that basically works because when you have a permanent magnet, it kind of charges parts. So you can turn the magnet on and off and you still have some residual magnetism even with the magnet not engaged, which came in clutch for this job, and it does come in handy for thinner material. Now, potentially what I could do is actually do the same trick on this top side, which is what we were magneting down to. But I think I'm just going to scrape it, and that also could be the plate. I might glue the whole plate up and just try a different angle of the dangle. So this is really where we get into the art of machining and really just trying to figure out and push the absolute limits of your tools. I would bet that we're flat to within 2 or 3 tenths, which for a worn out manual grinder, I can live with. You know, some people can't, and I'm sure I could dress the chuck and get a better result. But let's just try a different part of the surface plate and see if we get more contact. So yeah, we're kind of at the point of the resolution of my surface plate starts to matter. And this hasn't been calibrated in a long time. So I'm going to thin the bluing out because I am not that good of a grinder. I don't trust this result very much. I'm going to clean that off and blue it one more time on camera because what I've learned over the years is just because you see what you want to see, you might have fudged it, especially in a situation like this where I'm really squeezing the last little bit out of that grinder. I'm never this lucky because frankly, if this is a repeatable amount of contact, I'm not going to scrape it. I'll break that up a little bit. So no blue, guys, and we're going to try a third part of the plate. So I would say that's pretty repeatable, especially you see how it feathers off. It's not just hard smudged edges, and that aligns actually a little bit with the grind mark. So I think that's really good off an old grinder. Why don't you tell me in the comments what you guys think? But this is a thrilling result. That is good, and that is repeatable, and we're getting contact in the same places too. Where if I was getting contact in different spots, I would assume something's wrong with the technique. But you can grind pretty well on a worn out machine. I guess if someone's interested, I can talk more about some, grinder flatness tricks. I know one of you guys, I frankly can't remember who, was really hard up on that, and that's one of the reasons we're filming this project as much as I am. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed.